Okay, so due to poor internet connectivity, we were disconnected. So we are again starting with the beginning. Okay, so because previously whatever I have recorded that has been lost. So today we'll be looking at Android development with Kotlin, and under that we'll be looking at what are layouts. Okay, so how to create your own layouts using Android Studio. Okay, in previous session what we have discussed, so we have seen how to set up your Android Studio, how to handle some of the errors that will occur during the installation of Android Studio, how to sync your Gradle in Android Studio, as well as how to create your project in Android Studio. We have created one empty project, that is we have selected the empty template to create that project. Okay, as well as we have seen how to add Android virtual device. So we have added one Android virtual device in using that Android Studio what we have installed, and then we have also see how to use USB debugging option. Okay, that means how to install the developed application in your Android mobile phone. Right. So all those things we have seen, as well as we have seen some of the basic features of Kotlin programming language. Right. So, and why we are using the Kotlin programming language for Android development. Okay, all those things were covered in previous session. So today we will be looking at what is Android development and how to create the layouts in Android Studio. Right? So first we will see what are layouts. So basically, uh, layouts are used preferably for creating the user interfaces more uh, in a proper manner. Basically, uh, to present your app user interfaces on different devices, because as we have seen in previous session, there are n number of devices for which you can create Android applications, such as mobile phone, maybe tablets, maybe your smart TV, variable devices, as well as IoT, right, and automobiles. So on every interface there will be separate look and feel of your Android application or mobile application. So to create those look and feel and proper user interfaces, we will be using layouts. Okay, so those layouts are very much flexible. So those layouts gives you flexibility to create different uh, look and feel for users on different platforms. So basically there are two ways to create those layouts in Android. So first one is by using an XML file to declare the user interface ahead of time, right? So you will be using .xml file. It can be used in your code view or maybe in design view to create those layouts, right? Second way is by writing the Kotlin code to create the layout at runtime programmatically. So the basic difference between these two is that if you are using XML file to declare the user interfaces, those interfaces will be created ahead of time. Okay, so before execution of your Android application. And if you are writing Kotlin code, then your layouts will be created at runtime. Okay, so and most of the cases, this XML file can be used to declare the user interfaces. So 90% of cases it is possible to create your user interfaces ahead of time by using XML file. Okay, so Android Studio has this powerful layout editor. Okay, that covers 90% of the cases by using an XML file. Okay, to declare those user interfaces ahead of time. So what is an application or any mobile application? So mobile application is an self-contained program that lets users to perform one or more tasks. Okay, so those tasks are basically predefined by the Android application designers as well as Android application developers. Right. So as per those predefined tasks, user will be performing those tasks as the way it is provided through those interfaces designed or created in your Android application. Okay. So those design or user interfaces should be in you should design those interfaces in such a manner so that those tasks can be quickly performed or intuitively performed. So we have taken one example here, as there are multiple platforms such as Amazon, Flipkart, Zomato, Swiggy, your Ola is there, Uber is there. So in most of the cases, what the users are doing, just for example, in case of Amazon, Flipkart, they are purchasing something. In case of your food delivery application, so they are identifying the proper food what they want to order and what should get be delivered, as well as they are comparing the food, okay, where they are getting the lowest price, as well as they are comparing the product, okay, where they are getting the lowest price, and according to that they are selecting those products, and then as well as they are looking at the features of those products, and then they are adding those products into cart, okay, shopping cart or maybe basket, and then they are selecting the payment method, and then finally they are uh, ordering it, okay, or purchasing it, as well as they are tracking the product, okay, at what time that product will get delivered, right? So all these things will be designed through those user interfaces, okay, and those interfaces should be properly designed. So those layouts, as well as recycler views will be playing uh, what major role in designing the user interface of your Android application, right? So whatever user interfaces are there, okay, as a designer, as an Android developer, you should give a proper thought over those user interfaces so that user can smoothly interact with your Android application, okay, without any difficulties, right? So I have created here one recording, okay, so how to create what user interfaces, as well as how to use layouts in Android Studio, right? So instead of adding screenshot in today's presentation, so what I have interacted through that Android Studio, that I have recorded, and I have added or I have created one video, okay, for that. So I'm playing that video and I will be explaining it step by step, right? So just here. So is this video is visible for all of you? Okay. So whatever application that we have developed in previous session, that is we have created one my app, okay, using Android Studio, right? So the same application I want to open in Android Studio. So initially I will be starting my Android Studio, right? So that Android Studio, whatever I am opening here, right? So here I am opening it in administrative privileges or administrative account. So it is better practice to open your Android Studio or any development platform in administrative account, because it will be getting every permission to create all its file, as well as to access the local data which has been stored. Otherwise your platform will be getting restriction to create files on the primary drives. So it is better to open any application with or any development platform with administrative privileges, okay. So once you start it in administrative account, so initially it will be loading all the components, right? Whatever support components it required, as well as it will prepare the workspace and reopens all the project files, okay, which you have created. Initially it will show one tip of day that you can simply close, right, or you can scroll it through next tip. And if you observe this left panel, okay, so there are different directories which we have created, okay, which most of them are automatically created, right? It will sync with again Gradle. If you observe initially those directories, so some more folders are there, okay, so which are of no use. So once your Android Studio rearranges all those folders, so automatically those folders will automatically get properly arranged, okay, as you can look in this panel once again. So inside that res directory, resources directory, okay, so there is folder layout. Inside that activity underscore main, .xml file is there. Okay, so if you go if that file is automatically open here, but if it is not open, then you can um, uh, go through that res layout folder and open that activity underscore main.xml file. Okay, where we have created one text view which we have deployed or open in or installed in our Android platform, okay, mobile platform. So currently, what I have done here, I have opened that application in split view, right? Or I have opened that Android, sorry, activity underscore main dot XML file in split view. Okay. So you can open that file in any one of these view, that is code view, split view, or design view. Okay, and you can observe here currently I am using my mobile phone, Android mobile phone, to install the application or to run the application, or you can use your Android virtual device. Here you can see that Pixel 2 AVD is added into the Android platform. On that platform also you can install the uh, uh, developed application to view the result, right? So uh, if you and now I want to switch this XML file in design view. Okay, so why I am switching it into design view? Currently you can observe there only one text view is added, where there is display text, that is hello world is there. Okay, it is displayed in the middle of the screen. If you install that application or run this application on your selected platform, maybe your mobile phone or AVD, right? So I will switch it to the design view. So if I want to switch it into the design view, so you will be getting more options here, right? So what are those options? So if you observe it, so there is one palette, okay, which is available. On that palette there are some common controls. Okay, those common controls are text view, button, image view, recycler view, fragment, scroll view, and switch, right? Or you can switch between text, buttons, widgets, right? Layouts, containers, Google legacy. Okay, so if you click on that text, okay, so if you click on that text, okay, video is not visible. Okay, let me open it in some other media player. Okay, wait. So was it visible initially? Okay, so I have to start it from beginning. Okay, is it visible now? Okay, see here, what we have covered here, we are open this Android Studio in administrative privileges, right? As well as once you open it, right? So it will load components, as well as it will prepare your workspace and reopens all the project files. Okay, it will sync it with Gradle, right? You can close this tab. After syncing it with Gradle on left pane view, you can observe that it will rearrange all these folders or resources, right? So once it will automatically, that activity underscore main.xml file is open. So once it rearrange all these resources, so these files are properly arranged, right? So under resources folder, you can find that after syncing process is over with Gradle, So under resources folder, you can find layout folder. Under layout, you can observe activity underscore main dot XML file. Okay, so that file can be opened in code view, split view, or design view. Right. So once you open that file in any one of these views, okay, you can start your development. Okay, and if you observe this, is it visible now? This video is visible to every one of you. Okay. So you can observe here that I can deploy my application or install as well as run my application on my mobile phone, that is Nokia 6.1 plus, or I can run the application on Pixel 2. Okay, that is the AVD, Android Virtual Device. Okay, so currently we want to create the layouts. Okay, using constraint layouts. And there are three different types of layouts in Android. So first we are using, that is nothing but the constraint layout. Okay, so again, if you I'm trying to switch here from split view to design view, because design view will provide you some more options as compared to split view. Okay, in code view you will be getting only code, right? Currently there is only one text view added into the these panels. Okay, so if you observe this design view, okay, I have just switched it to design view. So if you observe this design view, so there is one palette, so which gives you the common controls that you can directly drag and drop into your preview panel, right? Or you can drag and drop those controls directly under this component tree. Okay, so under this component tree you can see that uh, currently there is only one text view. Okay, below that you can add, or above that you can add any one of these controls. Okay, so these common controls are text view, buttons, image view, recycler view, fragment, scroll view, and switch. Okay, or if you want to get more options and under other controls, so you can click on the respective controls like text, buttons, widgets, layouts, containers, Google, or legacy, and you will get multiple options there. So you can select the specific option to add into your design. Okay, design view. So how that controls will be looking at your Android device. Okay, so you will get it into here. Also you can see that expand option is there. So if you click on plus sign, so it will get expanded. If you click on minus sign, it will get reduced in size. Okay, so the next here on the right hand side you can observe the layout panel. Okay, and here what it displayed, constraint widget. Okay, and currently how many constraints are there? So currently there are 4 constraints on the current text view. Okay, so next as here we have to add currently I am saving all these files, right? So after save I want to add one text view, right? So here it is displaying the code view, right? And currently if you observe this code view, here there is text view control that has been added. Along with the text added is the hello world, right? So next, so again I am switching it to uh, specifically I want to switch it into design view. Currently it is switched to the split view. Okay, so after that I will switch it to design view, right? So inside palette, currently what today what we want to design, so we want to add 2 text views inside the screen as well as one button, right? So how to do that, that you can look at it. Okay, so see, currently I have selected text. So once I selected text from the palette, so I am getting more options here. So I am getting text view, plain text, passwords, password with a number, email, phone, postal address, multi-line text. So there are a number of options, right? Under each one of these controls, that is text, button, widgets. So currently I am simply want to add the simple text view. So I have to select it. Until and unless it doesn't appears blue, it will not get selected. Okay, so you can drag and drop this text view below this text view inside component tree, or you can drag and drop it on the preview screen, that is nothing but white screen, or even you can drag and drop it on the blue screen. Okay, so just if you observe, so I have dragged it and dropped it below the text view hello world, as well as I can drag or drop it on the preview screen or the blue screen. Okay, so currently, but I am dragging and dropping it below the uh, text view hello world. Okay, in the component tree. So once I will be dropping it, so it will take some time to get appeared on the your preview screen. So see, after that it has been displayed here, and currently the text appear here is nothing but the text view. Previously, in previous text view it is hello world. Okay, now currently it is text view, and it is added on the top left corner of your screen. Okay, so after that it is if it is not visible, so you can click on this plus sign to expand it. Okay, and you can view it here now. Okay, text view, right? You can expand it more if required. Okay, so it is getting expanding. Okay, so after expanding it, you can even fit to screen, right? Okay, so here text view is there. So what you have to do now, what I am doing here, so I am dragging it from preview view to somewhere middle near hello world. Okay, so next, so just when I have dragged it to hello world, I will try to run this application again, right? So it will get installed on my device, selected device, that is Android mobile phone, right? So I will run this application now. So why constraint plays major role here? Okay, if you are dragging it into middle, and if you observe the output, okay, so you will consider that it should appear in the middle, but when you observe it in your mobile phone, so it will not appear at this position. Okay, so it will appear on the top left corner of your screen. Okay, if you observe the output of this screen on your mobile phone, I am currently running it, so it will get installed. I have to wait all the dependency doesn't get synced, and after the dependency getting synced, here you will be at the bottom of your window, you will be getting that Gradle build finish, and after that it will try to install your application in the selected device. So install successful message you will get at the bottom, and you have to observe this. Okay, you have to observe this in your mobile phone or maybe AVD, right? And you can observe that it will not appear here where I have placed it. Okay, it will not appear on the top left corner. And you can also observe that when you are rotating your mobile, automatically your application will adjust according to the rotation of your mobile, or maybe your tab, or maybe whatever device that you have selected, whatever changes you are maximizing or minimizing your screen window or expanding it, so automatically everything is adjusting accordingly. Okay? But currently I have added or dragged that control into the middle, but it will not appear here. And when you are running that application, you can observe the output of your application on your mobile phone or AVD, and you can observe that this text view with text view is appearing on the uh, top left corner of your application. Okay, so how to adjust that? Okay, how to adjust your control so that it should appear where you want it. Okay, so to do that, what you have to do, you have to add the constraints. Okay, you have to use layout feature of your Android Studio, or your Android development platform. So how to use that layout feature? Okay, so again, you can see that under that layout, currently constraint widget is there, and there are no constraint on the text view. Okay, new text view. Okay, initially when I have selected the hello world, so there were 4 constraints, okay, added to it, but currently on text view there are no constraint. So how to add those constraints? So in preview window, I will be dragging that text view on the top left corner, Okay, and if you observe here, so there are four circles appearing here, right? uh, in on the boundaries of that text view control. Okay, so I will moving my mouse cursor in that blue screen or blue palette, okay, or blue window. So after moving that mouse in blue window, I want to uh, appear that text view on the top left corner. Okay, so for doing that, initially I will move that mouse cursor in this circle, and until it doesn't appear white, I will wait. So see here, you can observe here, so there is white boundary. So once that white boundary appears, so I will be dragging, and I will be dragging it, and I'm dragging it to the leftmost corner of my screen, okay, or blue panel. So see here, so I will hold and drag it to the leftmost corner. Okay, so once I will be drag and again drop it on leftmost corner, so you can observe here, so automatically this constraint is added here, right? So you can observe here, constraints are automatically added here, that is start of parent constraint. Okay, and some numerical value is displayed here, right? So you can select you can you can select any value from this drop down list. Okay, so if you select it, currently I'm selecting 8 here, right? So any value can be selected. Okay, so I have added the left constraint on this what your text view, right? So similarly, I have to add the top constraint because I want to view this text view control on the top left corner of my screen. So again, I will be holding that circle which is appearing there. Once it appears white, then I will be dragging and dropping it on the topmost corner. Again, you can observe here that constraint is came. I am changing that value to 8. Okay, so these two constraints are added here on this text view. Okay, so if you click on that text view now, you can see that there are two constraints added to it, right? So these two constraints are added, that is at start as well as top, right? So that is at left of the your screen. Similarly, I am adding the second text view on the top right corner, right? So in same manner, I have to add those two constraints, but currently what I will do, I will add those at start right of that text view. Initially, I have added it on left. Now I am adding it on right of that text view. Okay, so again, I am changing that value to 8. Again, I will hold and drag it to top of the what screen. So again, I have to do it in blue screen basically. So in blue screen, again, I will hold and drag it to top topmost of it. So automatically again constraint will get added. Again, I will top margin constraint, I will add it to 8 value, okay, numerical value. So in similar manner, now I will be adding one button. Okay, here you can say that end of control two constraints are defined for this text view appearing on what top right position as well as on top left position. Okay, so is there any query? Can ask it. Okay, if you have any query. So after adding these two text view and constraint, okay, now I want to add one button in the middle of screen. Okay, but before that I will be deleting this text view, that is hello world. Okay, from the screen I will select it and simply press the delete button. For but again, you can observe that for hello world there were four constraints which has been added. Okay, therefore that hello world was appearing in the middle of screen. Okay, if those constraints were not there, then automatically hello world will appear somewhere at the top left corner of the screen. Okay, so next I will be adding one button, okay, in the middle of the screen. Okay, I want to uh, appear that button in the middle of the screen. Okay, so again I will switch to common. Okay, because in common button control was there. So again I will hold, drag and drop it into the preview view. So when you are dragging and dropping it into the preview view, so you can observe here, so some dotted line is appearing. Okay, so I want that button to be appearing at the middle of the screen, so two cross dotted line should be there, right? So you can observe in this case, so I'm just trying to position that button so that, so see that one vertical and one horizontal line is appearing, and I can find the middle of the screen. So there I will be dropping that button, right? So once I have dropped it, again it will take some time to get appear. So now button is appear. You can observe that again it is not in the middle. So I can again adjust that button so that it can appear in the middle. Okay, by properly viewing the exact middle of my screen, and according to that middle I will be dropping that button. Okay, now that this button should appear in the middle of the screen. Okay, so to get that button in the middle of the screen, you have to add all these four constraints into it. Okay, so in similar manner, how we have done it for the text view, in similar manner we'll be doing it for the button control. Okay, we'll be adding those four constraints. Again, I will be moving my mouse on that circle. Once it appear to white, then I am dragging and dropping it to the leftmost position. Okay, so I have to do it until and unless one arrow doesn't appear there. Okay, similarly I have to or until and unless I'm not getting those constraints enabled here, okay, to edit those values. Okay, so just I will be saving this control if it is not functioning properly, right? So after saving complete project, now you can see that I'm directly adding that constraint. So I written it here 8. Okay, similarly again I will be dragging and dropping it to the left rightmost corner. Okay, again you can observe that constraints are added there. It is left margin constraint as well and right margin constraint. So both at both places I will be giving value 8. Okay, so it indicates that 8 dp. Okay, if you observe it in brackets, it is in most of the time you can observe that. Okay, so similarly I will be adding the remaining two constraint, that is top and bottom constraint will be there, right? uh, So for button, there are four constraints that I have defined here or declared here, right? For text view only, for both text view only two constraints were declared, but for your button control, four constraints are declared here. Okay, again for both, for all those four constraints, the value I have selected is 8. Right. So again, I will be saving this. Okay, after saving all these things, I will try to run this on my mobile phone or maybe AVD. Okay, so for today we'll stop here. Okay, you have to do it. Okay, because again in next session we'll be extended this project. Okay, but you have to wait till this application doesn't get transferred on your Android mobile phone or its output doesn't get displayed on your Android virtual device. Okay, so once it will get displayed, okay, you can observe that whatever positions on which I have arranged those text view as well as button, those text view and buttons will appear automatically on the specified positions. Okay, so once I click on run, you can also hear the message has been changed, that is install successfully finished. Okay, and that output you can view in your mobile phone, because I have selected here Nokia 6.1 plus to view that output, okay, of my application, right? So some more things that you have to try, as I have said that there are three types of constraints, okay, sorry, layouts, okay, in case of Android. So whatever layout that we have seen was constraint layout. And you can observe here under that activity underscore main dot xml file, these two text view as well as button is added. And for first text view, what constraints has been added here, you can observe in this screen. These two constraints are added, okay, margin start and top, as well as second for text view is margin top and margin end is added, right? So similarly, you can observe it for button. Okay, if you scroll down in this XML file, so for button there are total 4 constraints, okay, which has been added, right? So those 4 constraints here you can observe that is start, top, in, and bottom constraints are there, right? So you have to complete this task, okay, before joining next session. But along with this one, what you have to try, you have to try for other layouts, okay, other remaining 2 layouts, right? So what are those 2 remaining layouts? So first one is linear layout and second one is frame layout, right? So that is the assignment. So here I am sharing these ppts, okay. So first layout that we have seen is constraint layout, okay, how to add those constraints, okay, to your layout using Android Studio. Again, you have to explore the available options in palette, okay. There are many options. Out of those options you can try many things, okay, in your Android Studio environment. And other 2 types are linear layout and frame layout. So these are 2 assignments for you to try out many controls from the palette, and second assignment to try out these remaining layouts in Android Studio, that is linear layout as well as frame layout. But in most of the cases, it is recommended to use constraint layout. Therefore, in session we have covered the constraint layouts. Okay, so we will be stopping here, right? If you have any query, then you can ask, or you can drop the query mail on the email ID. Okay, that is polymormultiservices@gmail.com. Right? So, do you have any queries? So before joining next session, you have to complete all these tasks which has been covered in this uh, video, okay, and then we'll be extending our project, okay, what we have created to add certain activities into it, okay. So in next session we'll be covering activities, okay. So in today's session we have covered layouts. In next session we'll be covering activities, okay. So thank you for joining this session.